What's up, guys? It's Monday, November 17th. It's 12:02 p.m. and this is a crypto market update. So we got Bitcoin at $94,160 at this moment. If we take a look, we are below that critical 200 moving average on the 2-day chart. We still need to get back above around 100,000. Getting above 100,000 puts us back in a good spot to reclaim that critical level, as well as this critical. So getting above 100,000 gets us above the 200 moving averages, but still we are hanging on by a thread above this macro trendline support, as you can see here. So this 93,000 is critical to maintain above. And as you can see here with this horizontal line, it was a critical level of support or resistance ever since last year around this time. So maintaining above here is still okay, but we are hanging on by a thread as we speak. If we look at the momentum here on the 2-day chart, you can see that we're right back at the same area we were multiple times where we found bottoms at. So if I draw a rectangle here, you can see that this zone that we're coming into, like November 2022, that was our bear market bottom back here. And then we have over here, August, September of 2023. Major bottom. And then we have over here back in March of 2025, major bottom right over here. So where we're at now with the momentum signifies a major bottoming level, but we need to bounce here ASAP. The longer that we spend down here, it could be something repetitive of a top. So if we go back to say like December of 2021 over here, December of 2021, we're basically here. We're literally right here right now. We need to see a bounce where we're at, or if we don't bounce and come up, make a new high from where we're at now, like that, then we risk a drop below, which will likely bring us down to retest these levels around here, 80, 82, 83,000. And in my opinion, that wouldn't be good because that would look like we're doing the same thing back here, where we come down and we could just kind of come up, come down, and then hold resistance at that critical trend line until ultimately it breaks, like back here. So like if we were to match that up, see, yeah, we're basically at this moment where we need to see a pop up, because if we don't, we break down from here. That shows a lot of weakness, and it's likely we could just have consolidation, a bear flag, before the next leg lower. So this is where we're at right now. We need to see this bounce come in. If we look at the 1-day chart, we have a death cross right now. You can see with the red cross. And the last times we've seen death crosses were at the bottoms here. So April 7, 2025, we bottomed out. Then here, August 2024, we bottomed out. And then here, September of 2023, we bottomed out. So if this holds true like the last times, we would bottom out around here, but it needs to happen quick, and we need to find a bounce and ideally get back above 100K first, yes. But the key level to get above now is around like 108,000 to 110,000. If we can see a bounce up like this, consolidate like that, then we could see our next leg like before. So that's what we need to see out of Bitcoin. Looking at Bitcoin dominance on the 2-day chart, we are starting to cross down like before. So the last time we crossed down was in July, and it was like a little bit of some sideways, and then all of a sudden, bang, we saw that blood candle come in. I would say that we're in this a little bit of sideways right now, like kind of right the early week of July, the first week of July, comparatively to this. So we need to stay below 59.8%. Really 60% is the line in the sand. We don't want to get back above that, and we want to come down and break below 59.20% for this to melt down, which is what we want to see. So also we want to see this 2-day TSI get back below the zero line. So we want to see this start to trend down ASAP like that and cross below the zero line with a lot of momentum. At the same time, we want to see Bitcoin hold the level here and get that bounce. Looking at others against Bitcoin here, if we take a look, it looks like we're actually doing something that we haven't done in a bit since July and since November of last year, which is a cross up. So the last time we seen a cross up was July of this year, and then we saw it happen in April as well too, and then previously before that was November, so 2024. So as you can see, the last time we got a cross up on others against Bitcoin was there, here, here, and now. So in the past year, about three times, this is the fourth. And if we look at the charts, those were major bottoms. So November last year, May, and then July. So if we go to Bitcoin, we go to November, that was here. So there, November, and then May, and then July, and then now. So as you can see, others against Bitcoin with that cross up, big move up, move up, move up, and then remains to be unseen right now, but it looks solid as far as the past times. So looking at Bitcoin dominance, with that starting to roll over, in tandem with others Bitcoin crossing up, in tandem with Bitcoin, Bitcoin's gonna be the decider. We need to see this start to hold the line right here, right now, and start to get that bounce up. If we look at others, we're on the daily chart right now. We want to see us hold the line at this 50 line with the stock RSI. It's starting to cross up. If we look at the TSI, we want to see this start to cross again. If we look at the blue and the pink, the blue is on top. If we go any bit lower, we have this 786 here around 223 billion for others. If we go any lower than that, then we still have 200 billion. And that will be our final line in the sand, in my opinion. 200 billion, 200 to 203 billion here, right at this point. And then we have this trend line coming like this. So we have this stretching out like that. So that actually coincides right with that 200 to 203 billion as well too, if we come down to that level. So that's going to be our white line in the sand for others. So that's like another 10%, 10 to 15% down from current levels. So we have some data coming out this week, like unemployment, non-farm payrolls, personal income, core price index, inflation. Oh, that's in December. So we got some key stuff coming out midweek that will likely be a catalyst to moving this stuff in whatever direction it wants to go. But right now we're at this critical level. I can't stress it enough. So if we were going to go lower from here, our next level would be around like 84 to 86,000 with this 2618 breakdown extension and the 4236. So this would be our next zone here if we can't hold where we're at now. So from here to here. But if we get down to there, like I said, it would likely be, we come down and then we pop up, and then we could form that resistance under that macro trend line and in between the belly of the beast, and that could set us up for a bear flag. That could take us into the belly of the beast, and getting sucked into the belly of the beast would say that we're in a bear market at that point. So this is going to be where we're at, that critical moment, this critical week, for us to find a bounce to avoid that scenario. And if we take a look at the lower time frame, like a 4-hour chart, we are trying to hold. We are trying to hold right now. So 93K, trying to hold and getting back above 96K would be the first step, but ultimately above 100K, and then 108, 110 will get us out of the woods. So it's going to be a big week this week. We'll watch it. I don't think it's a time to panic sell or anything like that, especially when we're seeing Bitcoin dominance teetering and others against Bitcoin crossed up. So going to remain holding the line here. But if anything changes, I will let you guys know in the Discord. So link is in the bio for that. And I'll see you guys in the next video.